Hello and welcome everybody to this fantastic episode. I have today Daniela Platt with us. Welcome, Daniela.
Hello.
Hello. Daniela, I am so excited. I love you. I love your brand. I love everything about you. But people out there don't know about you and they need to know. So
Thank you very much.
Tell us right away, who is Daniela Platt? Who was her growing up and what was her dream growing up?
Ooh. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Dagmar, for inviting me on your podcast. I know we have been friends for a little while. We've met sort of through various different networking groups online. Who would have ever thought that COVID would be this international networking opportunity? I've made some really incredible friends, and mostly because I myself went through the process of learning how to be limitless and unstoppable. I didn't know that you could be and do anything. I went out and I was hungry for it. I went seeking it, and I found people like you who just push the envelope and are just wanting to help people rise and be limitless. So it's really a treat to have met you. I believe I met you this year, actually, in 2021. Yes. So soon we'll get to actually hug and meet in person.
Yes, that's gonna be fantastic.
I can't wait. So to answer your question, I am Daniela Platt. I plat like platinum, only the very best. And I am known to be a connector, a creative connoisseur. For the last 2 decades, I've been working for fashion and lifestyle brands, as well as in media for also fashion brands. I'm originally from New York. I can't really tell you why, but I'm from a small town just outside of Manhattan. I never really fit in. I couldn't tell you why. I had a lot of friends. I knew everybody's bagel order. I knew where everybody got their nails done. I just didn't fit in. It was nothing weird. I just couldn't figure it out, but I've always really been a creative. So friends of mine, they went off to go to law school. They went off to be audiologists. We had a lot of like ologists, like physical therapists and audiologists and sociologists and biologists. I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm going to Manhattan. I'm going to create. What are you going to create? I don't know. That's how creatives work. I am a true creative. So I went off to advertising agencies in New York for 2 decades. Like I said, I built hundreds of brands that are probably collecting dust in your closet, or maybe you're wearing them, like Hugo Boss, Montblanc, Ann Cole, Skechers, Cotton Incorporated. And it's been this incredible journey. I've gotten to really be a creative and meet incredible people throughout this journey. I say I'm a creative, but I've always also been on the strategic side of bringing brands to life, incubating ideas and taking them into the world. That is the most important thing. Taking your idea and putting it into the world. That is what I love to do. So I've just really had this incredible experience from New York. We now live in Los Angeles. And I love to take ideas, people's art, their heart, their message, from their desktop, from their bunker garage. Let's put it out in the world. So that is Daniela Platt, where I'm from, a little bit about me.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love that feeling of that emotion that you transmit when you speak about your creative side and how you been doing this. Now, for how long you said you've been in the creative?
I was just born this way. To quote your favorite Lady Gaga, I was born this way. I've always been a creative, but I've always really been on the strategic side of bringing the ideas to life and sales. So, I graduated college. My first job was Duncan Hines, Folgers Coffee, Montblanc, Avon. I moved to California. I watched the towers go down, 9/11. That was sort of like a moment. I was actually, ironically, I was jogging around the reservoir in New York in Central Park, if anybody's familiar with it. And it was a really big day for like Michael Jordan coming back. He was joining the Wizards that day. I'm jogging. Hey, Michael Jordan's coming back. It was the New York State primaries. Do you want to sign a petition for the New York State primaries? And I'm like, la, la, la. All of a sudden, I'm blow drying my hair. 20 minutes later, and like the news. Just pizza guy from downtown New York. There's been an accident downtown. So, that was a really interesting time to just, in life for everybody, but specifically for me, I was like, what do I do now? I'm supposed to go to work on 37th and 8th. I'm expected there in a half hour. The client I was working on was actually the U.S. Department of Defense. So, flash forward a month later, our $17 million budget for the U.S. Department of Defense was reallocated to the war on terror. And, so like I said, I've really always been on the strategic side of advertising, marketing, branding.
So what do you do then?
So
what do you do then after that? What do you do?
Oh,
Do
so
you stay within the same company that you were?
oh, what did I do? You know, it's funny too, because we were sitting in the conference room and there was like the art guy, the branding guy, there was me, the strategy. And we're like, should we make our own agency? And I look back at this, you know, I was 26 years old at the time. And I look back at this and I'm like, that could have been the moment. But I was so, you know, I was kind of like bleak from New York and I just kind of like got on a plane, moved to California, found my way to the fashion industry, joined a fashion magazine, stayed there for more than a decade.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I truly became really integrated into the lifestyle of the fashion industry because it's really like you're surrounded by creatives all the time and it's really delicious. So I kind of just took it as an opportunity to leave New York, and I've been in California now pretty much ever since.
Oh, wow. So what made you make that shift from, you know, working for another company and just having your own?
I had 2 babies. The first baby, I always thought I would have puppies. I never really wanted to have babies. But I've always been somebody like, tell me your idea and, you know, I'm going to design your roadmap to market. That's just what I've always done. My first baby came along and I was like, okay, I got to stop. I was working corporately, but I got to stop. My company that I was working for, they were my moms, they were my sisters, they were my legacy that I was building. When I became a mom, I just saw the world differently. My first baby came and I didn't know what to do. I had never thought about being a mom before. I didn't even know how to hold her. I did not know how to take her out of the car seat. I did not know how to lift the car seat. I did not know what to do. And I just went 180 degrees. I made the huge swivel to figure out what am I supposed to do? There's just like living, breathing human in my house and I'm responsible for her.
What am I going to do with this?
What am I going to do with this? Like, and the first 6 weeks too, I mean, they talk about like postpartum. I didn't even know we were going to get into this. So they talk about like postpartum, like it's a real thing. And I just remember saying to my husband, like, I've done my 9 months. She is here. I'm out of here. Like, I'm done. Checking my passport. And I would look at her and she'd be in her crib and she was just kind of like, but then there was one day about 6 weeks in and she actually smiled. I'm like, is she smiling at me? I don't know. Is that so? I went up and down and up, and I'm like, every time I popped over, she was like smiling, and then I'm going. She would not. So I'm like, wait, she recognizes me. She sees me. Anyway, that was like a real pivotal shift of like the legacy that I wanted to be built was for her, and that this little infant sitting in her bassinet, she's the boss. You know, she's the one that I'm technically I report to her, right?
Exactly.
we make decisions like this right now. We're going through a decision in our life right now. And I want something like really slick and cool, but we're not getting slick and cool. We're getting bigger and more functional because of the 2 kids. And I'm like, slick, I want slick. No, we have to make a decision because they're the boss. And that really, I mean, so she's my first one and she's 5 now. She's awesome. She's thriving. She's ready to be a CEO of a company. In fact, she's probably like the boss of her class. So, you know, but with her, I really was like, okay, how do I be a mom? But it wasn't until 20 months later where I had my second baby. And then I was like, okay, I got the mom thing down, my drive to really get back and hustle and create a legacy, create something that had meaning and purpose for myself and for my family. It was then, and she's now 3.5. So it was that second baby that was like, okay, we can figure this out. You can have it all. You just sort of can do it. You have to do it one step at a time. I had to learn all this. You could have it all. You just have to figure out, first of all, what do you want? And then you can do it. You just have to do it one thing at a time. And I had a baby, so it took a little longer. But it was that moment where I just realized I have other responsibilities now. And I wanted to create something for them. I also wanted them to be involved in my work life. So it is kind of funny that they're, you know, when we're designing, like we have this collection, Jungle and Coffee, and you know, like,
we're going into that in a second.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, she's looking over my shoulder and she's like, "Mommy, can I color that in?" And you know, she just sees things differently. So you know, I think just having kids being.
I mean, but you just said something that is a great idea. I mean, you can create one that people can color in it.
I didn't see it though. She saw it. So it was really important for me to make sure that because I didn't have this with my mom, and my mom worked, but I think it was really important for the kids to sort of see what you're doing and grow from within it and be inspired by it. So like when we were creating the collection, yeah, she like, I didn't think it was a coloring book. I didn't even see it that way. Mommy, can we color it in? So yeah, that's sort of how I made that pivot. It was the inspiration of my two girls and wanting my own legacy. You know, you've heard these expressions. If you're either living somebody else's life, building somebody else's dream, or you could build your own.
That's right.
And I wanted to build my own.
That. Or you either work for somebody else or you work for yourself. I'd rather work for myself.
It's so much harder. It is so much harder.
So tell us, what is Jungle Coffee? What's the purpose of it? Tell us the whole story about it, because I love Jungle and Coffee. I can stop talking about it. I don't have my pillow with me right now, where I am right now, but I do love it.
So it's actually really interesting. The first thing that happened when I left corporate, I decided I have to do things differently. And I didn't really know what exactly that was. First thing I did was people were always asking me the same questions all the time too. Like, how do I have a clothing line, or how can I be a sales rock star? So I was like, okay, I want to have a line. I want to have a product of my own, but I was sitting on all this information. So I wrote a book, and I wrote the book because I had to get all the information out of me. And when it was done, I was like, what do I do now? I want to have a collection. It really became this. It came out of an accident of a designer friend of mine said she wanted to create something for a gala. I wanted to create something that had purpose and meaning. We decided, I love animals. We decided we want to create something that has spirit, that has meaning, that has symbolism, that's going to invigorate people. And it was just like this process of, and I know how to make merch. I don't know how to like sew and cut and sew, as they say. So I just wanted to create something that had meaning, that had purpose, that would invigorate people, that would fuel people. And that's how we just created it. The original artwork just features spirit animals and the novelty of things that we need to thrive. Like, what is it that you need to get into your highest vibration, your highest zone? Wine, coffee, so the hammer, right? Because like a hammer is a sign of creation as well as destruction. So it's like fueled with different pieces of symbolism. And the message on this particular, the original artwork says, stop playing small. And the reason is, like, again, back to like, stop playing small. You are here to have it all. Play big to win. So that's really the message. And the scarf was just, it really was like a fun thing to make. And it went to this gala in December. It was worn by people all over the world and they're waving it. And it was this cool moment to bring people together. And that's something that I think is really important, like why small businesses should have merch, because you are creating unity and community with people like yourself. We're around the world, but when you have that shared connection and it's shared mission, you're actually coming closer together. And it was just such a cool thing to see people really connecting both to the message and the unity of it. So that's how it all began. And then, I mean, we just took it into a full empowerment collection of more pillows, t-shirts, anything to make you feel amazing. And you even said something to me about the pillow that you have.
Yes. So. And I mean, people that follow me, if you have not seen my video with Daniela, our interview on Instagram where I show the pillow that said, see you at the top. And that's my motivation every day, because I'm like bringing myself to be a better person every day and to like be on a next level of what I was yesterday. So every morning when I look at it, I'm like, see you at the top, girl, see you at the top. And that's my motivation through the day. And that's what I love your collection so much, because it's like inspiring message on everything that you have. And I think people need more of it. I need more of it.
Anybody can have it. They can absolutely have it. The thing that's so part of my mission as being like on my own now, a consultant with my company is Looking Good. It's called Looking Good. Part of the message of like taking your art, your heart, your message into the world is this is a collection that, I mean, I'm so happy you can have it for retail. And really, like, see you at the top. That's actually one of my favorite pillows. It's made with Pantone yellow, which is just, they call it illuminating. I really think it's like really invigorating, and it's just this burst of sunshine that's there to lift you up. But anybody out there who has, like, whether you're a coach, an influencer, a yogi. You don't have to necessarily be a designer, but you can have a collection. The nice thing that I designed about it is if literally you could swap out my logo for yours. It's not this huge collection where, you know, you're going to see it coming and going with different logos. Anybody out there can have their own collection of empowerment accessories with their own logo to really to bring your tribe together.
Exactly.
And this is actually one that I have here. It's green, so you can't really necessarily see it, but it's a Save the Amazon rainforest charity.
Oh,
with the spirit animals on it. You know, it's just fun.
Awesome.
You know, we're all online.
I'm a coffee drinker, so that'd be perfect for me too. I'll be like, save the Amazon, sip a coffee.
I saw you have your unicorn, and which you are. You are a
yes.
unicorn.
Thank you. Okay, so tell us, because you also are an author, how that happened. Tell us the story.
Oh my gosh. Did you know that anybody could write a book?
Oh, yes. Anybody.
I didn't know. I mean, there's things in life like how are we going to remember COVID? I don't know if you're going to remember it as like a blur. What day of the week is it?
For me, it's going to be, I don't know. For me, it's going to be when everything changed. That's how I see it. It's the year when everything changed. Like vision, purpose, everything changed.
Everything changed. So I finished this book I finished it in March 2020. It's all about, you know, everything I knew. I had this need I'm filled with information about the business of fashion. I'm not a fashionista. I believe the most important thing about style is confidence. So I'm sitting on all this information, and I want people to know that they can do it. There's 3 ways anybody can have a clothing line, plus anybody can do merch. So I sat there and I was like, so I know some people will say, oh, you can do a book, and I did my book in 7 weeks. I did my book in 90 days. And I was like, well, what am I going to write about? So the 2 questions people are always asking me is, how do I have a clothing line? Or how did you open up that door? How did you manifest that relationship? And that's just something that I've always been able to do, get a meeting with everybody. I can meet everybody. I don't necessarily have a pitch for them. I have to have something that's relevant for them, but I've always been able to meet everybody. So those are 2 questions that I was continuously asked. I had my 2 babies. I wanted to move forward in life. I was sitting on all this information. I didn't know what to do with it. I go to a trade show, I go to an event, and they're like, I guarantee you your book is half written. I'm like, what are you talking about? I cannot write a book. Again, I'm a creative. Like writing a book, I could write a blog post.
But writing is creating too.
I know. I just didn't know it was possible. So I actually have it here. I just didn't know it was possible. So this is my book. It's looking good. The 10 Commandments to be a Sales Rock Star and Fashion Startup Playbook. And it's really like a great guide in here with like done for you scripts about how to open up doors, how to manifest relationships, how to create options, like the 10 Commandments, how to create options. It's inspired by my dad. My dad used to say the number 1 thing on Wall Street is when in doubt, make money. But nobody knew what the other 9 were. So, you know, that's how I got the 10 Commandments to be a Sales Rock Star. So the book really is like 3 ways anybody can have a clothing line. I give you tons of research, tons of information, but it came about because I truly was sitting on a ton of information, and it's not for me to keep.
Exactly.
It's not. And when I realized I'm sitting on this information, it's not for me to keep. There's classes that go with it. I learned, write it down, get it organized, get an editor, put on some artwork. You load your files on Amazon. It's free to load on Amazon. Amazon prints on demand. So your upfront cost, you have to pay for editing and art and so forth. There's a cost and time involved as well, but it's accessible to everyone. And, you know, I always thought only John Grisham could write a book. Like, how can I write a book? And then I realized, like, I think it's a really good book, of course. And it's available on Amazon. But it's a very specific, like, factual book. Like, it hit number 1 in the textile and fashion category when it launched.
That's fantastic.
And so, yeah, I mean, I encourage everybody, if anybody wants some guidance on how to write a book, I do have, like, you know, my top 10 list of how to get it going. And, you know, the one thing that I did, I will share this, the one thing that I just really helped me in terms of like wrapping a bow around it, because it can seem like a really enormous project.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit 100 pages, drop your pen. Like, a book only needs to be 100 pages because it needs to have a spine.
Yes.
So if it's smaller than 100 pages, you're a pamphlet. Larger than 100 pages, great. But put your works, put your first 100 pages out in the world, see if people resonate with it. You have another 100 pages in you, come up with your second volume.
Exactly.
So I encourage.
That's a great tip. Yeah, I love it. Just do the 100 pages, drop the pen.
It changed my life. I mean, that's when I started like going to more podcasts, and it's really putting information out there. But again, the business of fashion is really complicated from the outside, but if you have a little bit, we all have things we want to achieve.
Yeah.
The best way to get there is by going with people who have been there before,
exactly.
that can pass along their research and information.
Stay close to the fire. Stay close to the fire, and you'll be warm and you'll be light.
Exactly. Stay close to the fire, you be warm and light. And, you can't do it alone. You can't do it one at a time. I was coaching people one at a time, and that was taking me a really long time. So I have it all for you. Like, here's your class. The classes are on Udemy. They're like $13. I gave you the book. Like, I'm here for you to be a resource to take you from to take you all the way, see you at the top, to take you to the top.
Yes.
But I want you to have, I want people to have like the opportunities at their fingertips all around the world. So that's how the book came about.
Daniela.
Thank you.
I love your story.
Now we
let me ask you a question, because you just mentioned that you're also in podcast. I want people also to know about your podcast. I always forget his name. What's his name?
Terrence Coffee.
Terrence Coffee. So
Coffee,
you're kind of funny, podcast, right? With him. When does that run?
So we are live Tuesdays at noon.
Noon.
We just wrapped up our first season, 7 episodes. It is so cool. Like, I'm sitting here with you on StreamYard. It is really cool to be on the other end and having people come in and share unbelievable stories. The show is called Looking Good with Daniela and Tea Coffee. It is a show about creatives who do it all despite it all. It's all about the inner you. We want people that, again, we're here to inspire people. And there's people that, it's unbelievable when you hear the crazy stories that happen behind the scenes, but yet despite it all, how do you have an idea and you still push forward and you make it happen? And especially the things that have been coming out during COVID. So the show is Tuesdays at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. Yeah, we just wrapped up our first 7, so we're going to go into post-production for them, and then we'll probably be back. We're probably going to take like 2-3 weeks to like retool. I want to come back with like the kind of more of a loungy vibe for it. Like right now we've been interviewing people one-on-one. I think it would be fun to kind of just come back with like a lounge, call it like summertime at the pool or something, get a pool background and tell great stories.
Okay. Wow. I have heard I think it was 1 episode. I haven't heard the whole season, but I will commit to it, because I love the energy. I really did love the energy of your program. So that's another podcast for you guys to follow too. Daniela, I mean, I'm so thankful for having you here today. You just brought us like really a sunshine through this interview. I mean, your story is so inspiring, and people, just giving the people the idea that they also can have merch to connect with their clients, connect with people is so amazing. And especially, bringing the positive message across the table as well. Catherine here says hello. Hi, Catherine. Thank you for saying hello. Hope you're doing well. What is a place to get in touch with you?
Sure. So anybody can my link tree is www.daniela today. Okay. So you've got like the shows there. Anybody can get 3 ways anybody can have an apparel collection and sell like crazy. It should automate for you. If not, just go ahead and email me as well. But I'll get you everything. If you want to talk merch, you want to come on our show, all the information is at www.daniela today, or just reach out to me via email and I'll get you whatever you need.
Okay, so this is her email address. This is www.daniela.today. I'm going to show that email address one more time. hello@lookinggoodjaja.com.
Yeah.
And yes, Jaja.
You as you are.
You also have thejungleandcoffee.com, where people can go and get your jungle and coffee. Which is, you guys, you need to go and see and look for the pillow, the yellow one. That's fantastic. I don't know. I love it. I love it so much.
I'm gonna call it the Dagmar. I'm just going to call it that.
Yes, it's my color.
It's your color. I love that that's been one of our best sellers. See you at the top. And I love the backside in gray with like the vintage kind of artwork mixed in with the spirit animals. But I love that you took it to kind of this holy space where you said, this is my morning motivation. It invigorates, it's part of your morning routine. And having interviewed so many entrepreneurs over the last year, one thing that they all sort of have in common is a morning routine. So I love that you put this pillow into your morning vibe.
It is part of my morning routine. It is, and I'm so thankful for you for making it because it's an amazing piece. I love it. Well, you guys, any other final words for our audience, Daniela?
I just want everybody to, just my reminder out there, you guys, take your art, take your heart, take your message, take it from above the keyboard to the street, be ferociously and outrageously yourself. Whatever your ideas are, the world needs it. If I can be of help for you, I'd love to hear what your idea is and come up with ways for you to take it into the world. Get the Dagmar pillow for your morning inspiration. I hope that it helps, and I'd love to hear what results you have. Dagmar, I can set up a code for you as well. I'm happy to give, I can just create a code. If you want to just tell me what it is, I can give your audience like 10% off of the pillow.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, okay. We can do that.
Do you want me to set it up for Dagmar or?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use Dagmar. Yeah.
So I'm going to set you up. I'll have it for you like within the next hour. Just, 10% off for everybody. Just punch in the word Dagmar.
That would be amazing. Yes. Thank you so much. So listen, be on the lookout because I'm going to be sharing that link with you. Catherine just say awesome.
My pleasure.
So you know already Catherine's going to be there looking for that code. Thank you for being here with us. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at DM Dagmar Torres and follow also in Anchor and Spotify, the Be Fearless podcast. And on Instagram, follow us at the Success Strategies. And what else? In the meantime, until the next episode, don't forget to unlock your potential and be fearless. Until then, have an amazing day. Bye, Daniela. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. This is really special.
Bye.